What is going on? My name is DJ Miles and I'm going to be reviewing the latest episode of Vinland Saga, episode 6, The Journey Begins. Stay tuned. And if you haven't done so already, welcome to my channel. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel for more anime content down the road. Oh man, so every episode continues to subvert my expectations with what they do about this story of a child becoming a man in the Viking Age. So last week's episode ended with all Askeladd's crew going into the boat, and I thought Thorfinn was going to be left behind and he was going to kind of come to his own ranks as the great Viking warrior on his own terms and then face off against Askeladd maybe towards the end of this show, or at least at the end of this 24 episode run. However, we don't get that. We see him join Askeladd with his crewmates, and we see them go land into a new village, and it reeks of death. Little old Thorfinn witnesses a decimated battlefield, and when he comes up close and personal to dead bodies surrounding him, what does he do? Of course, he just vomits. I mean, it's a disgusting thing to see for any little kid. The village that Askeladd is in is slowly under attack by the English, and then we do get some backstory between the English and the Danish. For people who don't know, the Vikings are known as pirates and thieves that are Danish. They wanted to invade England because the land was fertile. The English wasn't having that, and now begins the feud here. And they did throw some little tidbits here, and even Askeladd saying a few names about the kings. We're going into that Game of Thrones territory, which really excites me, but nothing excited me more than seeing Thorfinn get into the battlefield up close and personal. We see him as Askeladd and his men are ambushed by the English. They come out on top, but this is where we see the seeds now of a little child losing his innocence and towards becoming a man, where he experiences his own kill. And I don't know about you, but that scene where he stabs the Englishman, and you can just tell the adrenaline is rushing through him and the emotions are just going everywhere 1,000 miles per hour. Of course he's gonna yell. It was just this raw sense of emotion, and I was frightened for him. I got goosebumps just watching that scene. It was very visceral to see how this little kid is just realizing, okay, the weak are going to die first in this world. You need to toughen up, and it needs to happen like this. Next scene we see a montage of Thorfinn in the battlefields, or in multiple battlefields, as he grows and comes into his own, into his adolescence years. And I really like how they do this. I knew in this episode we were going to get a bit of a time jump here, but the way they did it through a montage of multiple battlefields of him learning how to become a badass with his little daggers was really incredible to see. And of course, before the first half of this episode ends, because Wit Studio did Attack on Titans, you know they had to throw in a little Attack on Titans battle sequence with Thorfinn, which looked absolutely awesome. I don't know about you, but if you've seen Attack on Titans, you know that animation style Thorfinn did at the end that reminded me much of the people in Attack on Titans with the OMS gear and the blades, how he does that 360 spin. I thought that was really cool to see. And the second half of this episode is a sharp contrast to what we got in the first half, where Thorfinn is yelling full of adrenaline, to something really calm, to something really serene, to something even resembling close to Thorfinn in his younger years, where this mother takes him in, tells Thorfinn about her son, John, who had ended up dying from a disease 2 years ago. And you can tell how both of them are kind of yearning for something, right? The mother wants to maybe think of Thorfinn as John's replacement, and even Thorfinn is thinking about, wow, this mother and daughter kind of resembles my mother and my sister. And as nice as it is to see Thorfinn actually becoming a kid, well, acting his own age, with the mother treating him like a son, with the mother combing his hair, with the mother feeding him, bathing him, taking care of his clothes, you can tell Thorfinn is really yearning for something like this. Unfortunately for Thorfinn though, as the day was coming to a close, where he was really reflecting and just kind of appreciating this nice, calm, serene life that he used to have, an Englishman informs the mother that, hey, there's a Danish scout here. He looks like this kid actually, so if you see him, you let us know. So let's snap back to reality for Thorfinn. he ends up telling the mother and daughter, hey, please, you just gotta run. You gotta run right now. I'm not gonna tell you what for. Just run. We see Thorfinn burn a village down. The village slowly becomes sacked because Asklund and his men invades the area, but not before the mother looks at Thorfinn. And I don't know about you, but that was the stagger in the gut moment for me in the episode, where you can tell the mother with that horrific look of being frightened, of being confused, of just probably looking at Thorfinn internally and saying, why are you doing this? You are a kid lost in this world. You have no sense of direction. What happened to your innocence? And Thorfinn almost died facing off against that Englishman, because you can tell even himself when he looked at the disappointment on the mother's face, he quickly thought of his mother, his sister, and more importantly, his father, who, again, his father did not want him to come into any contact with the cruel reality of the Viking age. But in this world, you either kill or you die in the process. Ooh. Wow. People, this is the summer anime of 2019. I don't care if you don't watch anime. You need to watch this one. The emotions, how raw it is, and more importantly, this is showing us that this is not a protagonist that we're all rooting for. We're rooting for him because we saw what happened in his past. However, this is a guy, Thorfinn is entering this line of just being a cold-blooded killer. So, guys, you have to watch this. I mean, this is fantastic what they're doing with the story. I'm rooting for Thorfinn, but of course my heart is broken for him. Just to know how to survive what he has to do is great, and it's really tragic to see. I can't stress that enough. The animation looks fantastic, or that wink and nod to us who loves Attack on Titans. We see some of that animation style being shown off here to full effect and style of its own. This show is constantly subverting my expectations. Where the show is gonna go, now we are getting the seeds and sprinkles of this Game of Thrones stuff with the Danish king. It's kind of corrupt, it's kind of messed up. We don't know who he is, but something tells me we'll probably get more, or we'll learn more about him and his motives in the next episode. And that was it. Episode 6, the journey begins. Oh my God, I feel like I am just beginning myself with my excitement and pure joy with what this anime is going to introduce for us. So get on it, please. You gotta watch it. If you guys like this review, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel one more time to see more anime reviews. And like I always say, to be continued, take care.